Hello, this is Dave at AFX Search, licensed investigators. A lot of the cases that we take have to do with fraud or stolen money or even missing persons. Occasionally we get cases that have to do with missing pets, and this is a kind of a serious issue because sometimes a missing pet is more to the story than just Fido ran away. So what do you do to find a lost pet? First thing is to determine if it's likely that this pet is in the care of somebody else or just lost. If the pet has a habit of running away, that's one thing, but a lot of times the animal will be in somebody else's care. They may have found it, they may have thought it was missing, they may have thought it was lost. In some cases, they may have stolen it. There's a lot more frequency of pets being stolen for reward money or just to keep as their own pet, and that's something that can be determined by the circumstances. First thing is, do you think if this pet is in somebody else's care, do they want to find you? Did they either steal it on purpose, or they found it and maybe like it and want to hang on to it? If that's the case, how are you going to track it down? The best results come from a combination of 4 sources. First thing is, somebody gets a new pet, they're going to need stuff. They're going to need food, they're going to need leash, they're going to need bowls. Even if they have existing animals in their household, they're going to need more of these things. So pet stores are a great resource. Obviously, they're going to try to go to a store right around where you're at. So you may want to check in with contacts at a pet shop. Local pet stores or even a superstore might have information. Sometimes the people will bring them right in with them to these stores. You also want to look to see if there's anybody in the neighborhood that has new pet stuff boxes out in their trash. Somebody buys a big cat tree, they put the box out by the trash, you're going to see that. So drive around the neighborhoods. In addition to looking for your pet, look for clues in the trash that might be the case. Check out the dog park. We actually solved a case a year or so ago where the stolen pet actually was at a dog park. You know, the guy who had it claimed that he found it and couldn't find the owner, but this pet had a chip in it and there was a tag on it, but he just claimed that he couldn't find out who the owner was, so that may be the case. You also want to look at vet records to see if any of the local vets have taken on new patients that fit the description of your missing pet. Those 4 solutions right there, if you merge all those together, can solve a lot of these cases. Yeah, do you want to put up flyers? Maybe, but be careful on flyers because you want to make sure they stand out. You don't just want to photocopy a piece of paper with a picture and lost dog or missing on top of it, because first of all, they're not going to last that long if you nail them to a telephone pole, and most people will look right past them even if they're aware that they have an animal that doesn't belong to them. Make it big, make it stand out, spend a little money if you have to. Here's the other reason. If there's a chance that somebody has your animal in their household and they're thinking about maybe not giving it back, a large, oversized, conspicuous flyer will maybe put peer pressure on them that a friend, a relative, a neighbor, somebody in their household is going to see it and say, hey, isn't that the cat you have in your spare room? And make them give it back. A small sign may not be as conspicuous and other people may not notice it if they're not in possession of a pet. Think about it. If you drive down the street and you don't have a dog or cat missing and you don't have an extra one in your house, you're not going to notice the sign. But if it's a real big, huge sign, you may notice it and then realize that one of your friends or relatives has an animal that doesn't belong to them. So if you're going to do a flyer, make them stand out. Be careful about rewards. A lot of times rewards are the reason that pets are stolen. Most people are going to give you back the animal if it doesn't belong to them, whether you have a reward or not. It might feel good that you're putting out a reward, and it might make it seem like you have a higher probability. It's probably not going to change the potential too much of getting back your pet. So be careful about rewards. If you do want to offer somebody something, offer it after the fact, after they've given you back the animal, almost like an appreciation. Don't make it the reason that they want to call you. They should want to call you otherwise. Otherwise, you may not have great success in getting that animal back, or you may get called with counter offers. You put out a $100 reward, they'll call you up and say, give me 2. So be careful about those. Obviously, the best thing preventatively is put a chip so your animal can be tracked. Keep the information updated. A lot of times people put in a chip and have an old phone number, an old address. So think about it. If you have an animal with a chip in it, is the address and information associated with that up to date with your vet? So keep that in mind. If you need more information about tracking down anything lost, stolen, or missing, you can reach us at our website, AFX Search, and we'd be glad to help.